Hey, what is up, everyone? It's Rich. Welcome to the first three. Today, we are going to feature X-Men #1 and the supervillain Magneto. This is pretty exciting, actually. So, X-Men #1, very, very iconic and important comic book. I thought that this was an interesting little quote right here in the sensational Fantastic Four style. What we do with the first three is we're looking at the introduction or first 3 pages that bring a new character into our consciousness. And sometimes in a comic book, it may be the very last page. It could even just be a suggestion of the character, a silhouette, or whatever it is. And, we want to analyze what ramifications that it could create. Were there pre-existing relationships between the established characters and the character being introduced? Is it compelling? Is it a real soft intro that is really kind of benign? I don't pick these based on anything other than I look at the landscape of comics and just grab a character that I find interesting for that day. I was originally going to do Beast in this video and opted to do Magneto. So yeah, let's look at the cover. We'll always look at the cover to see if there's any indication of the character appearing, and then we'll look at the 3 pages that sort of lead the character in. On the cover, we've got the X-Men all swinging into action, and they're already sort of embroiled in a fight here with Magneto. His magnetic shield seems to be blocking the Cyclops blast. The snowballs or ice grenades, whatever they are seem to be bouncing off of this protective shield he has. And then again, the quote: "X-Men versus Magneto, Earth's most powerful supervillain." So they're telling you right up front that this guy is #1. He is the most powerful supervillain on Earth. All right, so let's do it. He appears on page 12. "I hope I wasn't too rough on the poor dear." "Not at all, Jean. We don't use kid gloves here. We have to make our training as rough as possible to prepare ourselves for our mission in the outside world." So we already are learning, even though this is 12 pages in the story, that the X-Men clearly work sort of outside of the outside world. They're underground. They're doing whatever they are, but they're training for basically this conflict. She's like, "That's what I wanted to ask. Just what exactly is our real mission, sir?" So, like the Fantastic Four, Jean, at least, is appealing to Xavier, who clearly would know, based on her question, what the potential, importance of the X-Men is. "Jean, there are many mutants walking the Earth, and more are born each year. Not all of them want to help mankind. Some hate the human race and wish to destroy it. Some feel that the mutants should be the real rulers of the Earth. It is our job to protect mankind from the evil mutants." At that very moment, just such a mutant prepares to strike. In a secret laboratory near Cape Citadel, the moment is at hand. All my months of preparation and planning shall now pay off. The human race no longer deserves dominion over the planet Earth. The day of the mutants is upon us. The first phase of my plan shall be to show my power, to make Homo sapiens bow to Homo superior. So now we're getting some insight into Magneto and what he's up to. Xavier has already stated the fact that there's a conflict between their belief system and the evil mutants. Magneto, being the sort of pinnacle of evil mutants, clearly has it in for the human race. So let's continue. "The mightiest rocket of all is about to be launched. Using maximum security precautions, the government feels nothing can prevent its successful flight. But here, miles from the launching site, I, the miraculous Magneto, alone shall make a mockery of their greatest effort." So Magneto is clearly going to exhibit his power and make fools of the American, not the Americans, but the humans and their security precautions, and this is the greatest rocket that's ever been created, and they've done everything that they can to ensure its success. Ah, I can feel the irresistible waves of pure magnetic energy surging from me. Now, by exerting every iota of power, I can direct that energy upward, upward, until it strikes the speeding missile, causing it to change direction, to falter, to lose altitude. So he's basically thwarted the missile, and then to be completely irrevocably destroyed. So he's completely derailed the humans' attempt to fire off this most valued missile. General, every phase of the launch was an A-OK. There could only be one explanation. The bird was tampered with. But how? Even a microbe couldn't have penetrated our top secret security measures. The next day, the shocking news is transmitted to a startled public. Incredible. I mean, Stan is bringing in everything. There's a huge conflict with these incredibly powerful mutant beings. You've got evil and good. The humans are already being set up to be completely without defense for the attacks that this guy is provoking. So the X-Men are going to have to step up. Incredible. It's almost as though a destructive ghost is running amok at the Cape. Extra, extra, another missile fails. Extra. 6 top secret launching fails at sea. Phantom saboteur strikes again. But the worst is yet to come. Later that afternoon, this is only a page and a half into this, but the worst is yet to come. Later that afternoon, at the heavily guarded fence surrounding the launching site, keep that gun steady. Why is it quivering that way? We're not doing it, sir. It's moving by itself. Suddenly, like a living thing, the machine gun leaps into the air, spins around, and begins to fire wildly in all directions. Run for cover. The gun is out of control. I mean, it is absolutely incredible the amount of information that Stan has told, not in some sort of recap, but panel to panel, letting a story unfold. In 2 pages, he's established a lot of information and a lot of intrigue. Let's keep going. This is page 3. But the machine gun is not the only thing that suddenly, maddeningly, seems to go amok. Run. The tank is moving by itself. I mean, he's amping up the threat. It is impossible, and yet it's acting like it has a mind of its own, like it's trying to menace us. Within seconds, the entire installation is alarmed as emergency measures are swiftly brought into play, and then, sound the alarm, condition red, alert the Pentagon. General, look, above us, in the sky. Appearing as though by magic, over the heads of the astonished troops, huge letters take shape, composed of the dust particles from the air itself, skillfully magnetized into a message by the unseen mutant. Surrender the base, or I'll take it by force. Magneto. Really, really powerful setup. Magneto? What is Magneto? General, what does it mean? Is someone playing a grim prank? You saw that machine gun, that tank rampaging out of control. This is no joke, Colonel. They are startled. Good. The element of surprise is in my favor, but they're making no move to surrender. Perhaps they need another demonstration of my power. So because the humans haven't completely buckled already, Magneto decides he's going to turn the screws more. I'll direct my magnetic impulses into this energizer to increase their power, and then I'll leave the helpless Homo sapiens with no room for doubt. So you tell me, what do you think? 1963 X-Men #1 Magneto. Do you feel this was a successful introduction to this character? Are you intrigued? Is it suspenseful? Has Stan done the job, and Jack Kirby done a good job creating, a game board for a really fascinating story to unfold? You let me know. I mean, and that's why it's important that we look at a lot of different books. Some people have been questioning my choices. Never, ever question my choices. There's a method to my madness. Although, actually, there's not. I pick them spontaneously, but the more that we see, the more you're going to see how powerful some people's approach to this is, and others, might not be as successful. And again, there's some characters that are just you didn't know that they were going to be so popular. So maybe they're introduced in a way where, it's like I said, I've been kind of referring to it as a soft intro. But that'll be fascinating too to uh, appreciate that. Oh wow, that's so crazy. I never realized that so and so was like this guy, and this guy ended up being like a really huge character that we all know and either love or hate now. All right, so you let me know in the comments below. What did you think? Was Stan Lee, did he bring it or not? And yeah, we've got X-Men #1, Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, 1963. All right, thank you, and remember to hit the like and subscribe if you haven't. All right, bye.